everyone. How is everyone doing this beautiful Sunday morning? Hope you all are doing well. I had one of the most boring Saturday nights I've had in a while, so it was definitely boring. Good morning, Mr. Michael, Mr. Ed, Mr. Keep It Scale Stupid, and Mr. Ground Fog. Morning, Chip Headroom. Morning, Mr. Dalton. Hope y'all are doing well. It's pretty warm here this morning. I didn't turn my phone volume off, so I need to do that. I'm actually still listening to a podcast. In my right ear, I still had the Bad Friends podcast. So that was kind of weird. You take my right earbud out, so I won't be hearing a podcast any longer. In my left ear, I have the stream, and in my right ear, I had a podcast. All right, so last night, I carried my mini FSD that I fixed right after the stream yesterday. The whole problem with this knife was I was going the wrong direction. The directions on the little chart, whoops, didn't have it locked. Yeah, I fixed it. It's solid as a bank vault when you open it all the way, evidently. And all I had to do was turn it clockwise instead of counterclockwise. So I had that in my front pocket, and in my back pocket I have my M390 brother of his. Had those two in the pocket. That's going to get old quick to me and to you both. So let's do this instead. All right. That's a little better. So yeah, I had these two in my pocket. And I got a bunch of knives when I was leaving for work last night. Whenever it's cold or wet or rainy, I don't ever go to the mailbox before work, even when I have knives arrive, because I know it'll just make me, whatever. I don't want to do it. I want to be surprised and take them to work. So yesterday, I got all my sets, my 4 sets of Flytanium scale and a soy sauce packet. So here's 3 of the sets. And then the 4th one is right here. This is the 4th set and the backspacer that was on this knife. So I got my pillar yesterday. And this is a Jesper Voxnaes knife. Super comfortable. Great little knife. But it was... I grabbed these out of my car front seat, and there must have been a pack of soy sauce laying in my car seat. But I bought this knife, and when I got it, it had a G10 scale on it. So it looked like that. And that's how they come. So I bought the titanium show side scale. I think it's called like the Flow flow scale or something. And that's what this is. I taped it up. Let me get the tape. Let me show you here what's going on with it. So this was on here like this, and this backspacer was in here. So I think this is aluminum. It looks and feels like aluminum, but this side is steel, and now the backspacer is titanium because I replaced it. But so now this side and the backspacer are titanium, but this side is steel. And I don't know how I like that. Like, why don't I guess because I don't know why they don't make replacements for both sides. What I'm getting at. But they don't. So now I've got a different color. I don't know, you can't really tell, but yeah, you can. It's darker on the titanium, and the steel side is lighter. But like I said, it's an awesome little knife, and the show side scale for it in titanium was $7, and the titanium backspacer was $2.50. So, good morning, JD. So for $2.50, I mean for $9.50 plus the cost of the knife, I've got an awesome user, and it's one of those knives. It taught me something else about my knife design and a few knives that I have. I think I said it about the Evo. But as soon as you flip it open, you don't have to do anything but close your hand, and you're right there in the grip. Like, I don't know. The layout of his knives with those choils are just so comfortable. You can just go right in. You don't have to shift your hand at all, and it just melts in. So yeah, I do like the design. I paid $27 for the knife. So all in on this thing, I'm $36.50, and it will be a great user. It's a little smaller. It'd be a great back pocket knife, and it only feels comfortable to me if I use that forward choil. If I hold it back here, it's a real 3-finger knife for me. But it feels very comfortable right there. So, cool little knife. $36, $37. Well worth it to me. I didn't know anything about the knife, really. I like Jesper Voxnays, and Flatanium just had the scales, and I just bought them. I was like, for $7, man, and titanium backspacer for another $2.50, like, I'll try out the knife. So I went ahead and installed that knife. I don't have the other 3 yet, but that is these 3. The baby banner with the flow scales, the milling all the way around it very nicely. Then the Elementum liner lock, and all these do have 2 sides. And this is the one I'm looking most forward to. Well, this one will be cool because I'm gonna try to do the warning in there. Flatanium did come out with a knife. Eventually, Paul. We'll go look at that in a second. But these are the ones for the banter. And I didn't realize how much bigger it was, but it's nearly as big as an Elementum. But I really do like the milling pattern all the way around these. Pinch grip cut out. Yeah, I guess you saw that, didn't you? That was pretty funny. I didn't see it moving around. I was like, where the hell did that come from? I am out in the garage, so it is what it is. But yeah, so now I have, and this scale is a lot thinner than the titanium is, so it made the whole knife a little chunkier. But these 3, I'll probably shoot a video building these, especially this one, because I'm going to have to make those modified pieces. in case somebody else wants to do that. So got a bunch of Flytanium stickers. That's cool. And their little flies, like he mentioned. Mr. How are y'all doing this morning? Getting excited? Getting ready for Christmas to be over with? Or getting excited for it to happen? Or what's going on with y'all as far as Christmas goes and knives? Morning, TC. If I didn't say that. All right. So, the other knives I got yesterday, I got 5 knives and 4 set of scales. This is one of the knives. So that's the first one I got yesterday. Second one I got yesterday was a land. Yeah, JD, that's fine. You're welcome to always share links. Please share links. Oh, yeah. Before I move on, let me answer Paul's question. Thank you, TC. So, yeah, after they made scales for a while, they decided to get in the knife game. So they now kind of like Skiff. Well, I don't know if Skiff made the bearings first or if they made the knives first. So they did eventually come out with the arcade. And it looks like now they have some more. But let's see. Where's the original pocket knives? So I got 3 so far, and the beef was a good seller for them. So the arcade was their first one. And since they make scales, their claim to fame was being able to buy customizable parts. So you can buy any kind of color combo you want. Not any color combo, but you see right here that they come in lots of colors. And these inlays go in there and make it custom just for you. So, I've shown my, I've shown my arcade clone quite a bit on stream. It's the one that I did the green anno to. Let me see if I can grab it real quick. Show you the arcade. The arcade has got the lock from not the snack. Is it snacks? It's one of the two. So the arcade is this one right here. I've shown it before. And it's going to look see-through because that's green. I forgot about that. Here, let me fix that real quick. All right, so you can see right there. I annoed it green. But this is the arcade, and it's got that kind of the Snex lock where you pull right there. So that's a copy of their arcade. Very fidgety knife. You can open and close it with the back thing very easily. But you can swap these out. They got 2 screws. And they make all kinds of different inlays. But that's the, the arcade. All right. Nothing green on the screen. But yeah, and then they made the beef, and I really like the beef. That didn't sound, all right. Anyway, I've been meaning to try one of these out because they look big. And for 60 bucks, I mean, they got, I don't know, what size is it? Let's see. 3.5 and 8.2. So yeah, it is a big boy. Where's the beef? And you can buy, they make update kits with different blades. And they also make different blades that go, replacement blades. So you can upgrade it to a, you know, you can get a 14C28N blade, or you can put a S90V blade in it. So if you're a steel snob, you can customize it however you want. So their knives, they're trying to make them, you know, fully custom. You can get all kinds of custom parts for them too. Where's the beef? And then their newest one is called the Concourse. And I don't know. Good morning, Nick. Nick T and Nick M. Good morning, fellas. Yeah, I don't know. Anybody know what the deal is with this one? Front flipper. Let's look at it closed. We can see that. There really no closed pictures of it? Come on, guys, really? Not a single closed picture. Wow. So you give us a front flipper, you want us to buy it, but you're not going to show us what it looks like closed. And then you have people review it, and they don't show what it looks like closed. Huh. Well, Titanium Concourse. Let's see what it looks like closed. I like Buddy Knives Fast. There we go.
Titanium. All right, folks, welcome back to the Knives Fast channel. We have a new Titanium knife for you. This one is super fly. Yeah, I know it's corny. Titanium Concourse, the newest version. And guys, it's not a shark lock or anything like that. It's a frame lock. My favorite between frame lock and liner lock. And I'm digging the Concourse. So let's jump into this one. Very, very cool. Thanks to our folks at Titanium. And I love their artwork and marketing. It's really cool. But thanks to them for sending this guy along. Let's jump right in on this one. Again, really cool design. I like the sheep's foot.
Yeah, I like it. I like the front flipper. Here's Japanese chef knife. Mr. JD wanted to show. Nice. Super nice. Oh, Nick Martino. No, I don't have the Scorpio. Did Pete come in here? Oh, good morning, Pete. Morning, fellas. Altoids tins are awesome to make little electronics boxes out of. Yeah, that's Good one. Knife care, shipping and returns. Yeah, that's awesome. I was talking about, oh yeah. So back when I was showing the scales, the flatanium stuff over here, and I was talking about how I liked that milling pattern, I want to show y'all something about the next knife that I got yesterday. Well, I've got to go back to my knives. So I got this Land. It's a 910. It's a 9104. And I got it in a combo kit. In a bundle deal with this Miguron. And this Miguron front flipper, yeah, Altoids 10s are cool to do all kinds of stuff in. I've seen lots of guys carry fire starter kits in there with char cloth and stuff. But this is an awesome front flipper from Miguron. And the milling on it is superb. And the thing that I love more, and this is M390, this is the Karaki 2. Anytime I can get a titanium unused M390 Miguron for $100 that I don't have already, I will do that at any time. So that was the case with this one. $100 M390 Miguron quality. I got it in a bundle deal with that Land, and I wanted to show y'all something. How I love it when people take pride in their work. And Miguron, Sam from Miguron is a guy that seems to do that. And so let me see here. I was going to send some more, but I've already got them up here. So hold on. Well, where's it at? Here it is. So the inside of that knife on the table looks like this. And he took the time to mill those pockets out and make a pattern in them and get them perfect. Like there's a little edge around the whole thing. They're all laid out perfect. And nobody's even going to see those on the weight reduction pockets. But he took the time to do better milling on the inside than I've seen on some knives on the outside. And so I do truly appreciate the fact that he did that on the inside of this knife. You can't see, you can see the pockets down in there, but you can't see those milling lines. But yeah, I've shown you all that on the Get On and the Arma 2 XL, or the Arma XL, sorry. There's no reason he had to do all that extra milling other than just taking pride in what he does. Morning, Waylon. Anybody else that might have popped in while I wasn't paying attention? I hope you do a lot of cooking, JD. Evidently you do if you wanted to buy yourself a nice Christmas gift. That Flatanium looks weird in the fade of that chat box. Messes with your eyes. So that's 3 of the 5 I got yesterday. And here are the other 2 in the plastic cases. So you know what they are. They are guaranteed to be titanium clones. Not guaranteed. Some of my other China knives come in these, but more likely than not, if you see one of these from me, it means a titanium clone. And these are the two new cedars that I got with the mill blades. And we'll talk about that one in just a second because it's got something special about it. And then here's the other one I got. I will tell you what, man. I said it with the last couple of releases. They are getting the detent dialed in on these knives. These two knives have some of the snappiest, sharpest detents of any knives I have and still have perfect closing action too. They're getting their tolerances. I mean, it's got a brutal detent. It's not brutal, it's perfect, but it's as good as detent can be. Like, let's just put it that way. You can't get detent any better than these two knives. And as you can see, like the original cedar, it does have the milled blade, and that just adds to it. There's a couple of other little differences. So we'll compare it to the Lemifshi version here in a minute, the one without the milling on the blade. But yeah, pretty wild how good the detent is on these. But this one right here, this pattern, and whoever did this is the absolute grippiest knife I've ever felt in my life without scratching you. It has the absolute, it feels like one of those pads you put in the shower or in front of a door that old people, so they don't slip. Like, it is so grippy. You apply any kind of pressure and your thumb just stops. But yet it's not like rough to the point of hurting. It's one of the best milling patterns. I don't know who did it, what they did, cross-hatched, something, whatever they did is the grippiest titanium knife I've ever felt. And I really love it. It is so much grippier than plain Jane, but yet it is kind of plain Jane. And so it's like the best combo for me personally. I love plain Jane knives and I love grip. I'll leave that one alone too. But yes, this milling pattern is a winner. So I want to get out the other ones, and I think I can get to them pretty easily. Did I pull something out of my clone? Oh yeah, I already put it back. It was the arcade. All right, let me close up my clone box here. I'm starting to get things back in order where I can find stuff when I need to, which is always a good thing. My ducks are in a row, shall we say. And my duck bag is where the other cedars are. And they are right here, it looks like. What else is in here? Yeah, all right. So let's pull a plainish one and the same pattern. Nothing touched. Good, good, good. So same pattern. Wow. Big time difference in size. overall size is crazy different. Can y'all see that? Can y'all tell how much smaller the bottom one is than the top one? That's something I would have been shocked by if you told me that beforehand. Now, let me get them over here closer to the middle. But overall blade size, handle size, everything about the size is way different. It's not an illusion. You can see the tip of the blade is way further. And top to bottom, way different. Way different. Here's the bottom two. Yeah, hold on. I mean, I'll show y'all. It won't be hard to show you. All right. Let's do millimeters. We're going to do all the way across the blade. Carefully. Right in the middle of the cutout. 27.8. Well, they're closer than I thought, 27.4. So nearly a half an inch, not a half an inch, but over a quarter of an inch and over a third of an inch. Or a millimeter, sorry, half of a millimeter. What am I saying? Inches. So it is closer than I thought. Let's see the handles. At the 19.79 on that one, right at the grip. And 20.8, so about 1 millimeter thicker that way. And then overall length, they might be very close, but it is a little longer. I wish you could see. That's why I try to get them in the center so there's no angle. The camera is literally right above those. It's actually leaning a little bit that way, like favoring. You can tell the blade holes are a little different too. I mean, I know I got in size, and they're both laying flat. I can't measure end to end except for my clear ruler. Let me see what I can do here. I'll try to be as honest as possible. Y'all know I always am. All right, that is right at the tip. All right, it's at 8 and 3/16. 8 and a quarter, what we'll call that one. And this one again is about, it's at least a 1/16 longer, if not a little more. So probably a little over a millimeter total length longer. I mean, that's not too bad. They're close. A millimeter up and down is a lot different than end to end. I mean, a 1/16, sorry, not a millimeter. A 1/16 is actually well, man, I still haven't even pulled the sticker off the back of this thing. Huh. They're a little different in size. I guess that happens between two makers of clones. But man, the detent on these is way better than these. Action on these is pretty smooth, but the detent is nowhere close. Yeah, oh man, that just comes out super easy. This one, I can't. It takes quite a bit of force. I love strong detent. It won't be hard to, and the milling is way brighter, and it looks like deeper on the one on the right too. Can you see the difference in the brightness of them? This one on the right is way brighter, and it could just be the finish. I mean, it is just the finish they used, but even the milling lines are a little better, shall we say. I'm glad I got the same pattern on both of them. But you can tell that millimeter when I hold them side by side. I'm keeping those points close to each other, and the one on the right is definitely taller. You can see right up there, straight across. Good morning, Mr. Scott. I just talked about you in yesterday's video. So the bright one that's a little bigger is the Juful new ones with the mill blades. It's not hard to tell them apart because of the blade. So both of these have that milled, step milled. I can't get a good, oh, there we go. And then these are both the Lemifshis. These have better closing action, but that's because the lock bar pressure is a lot lighter and it makes the detent smushy. And that's the case with both of these. They just kind of drop shut. But they kind of, you could fail them super easy too. I don't know if they'll fail because of how smooth they are. Yeah, it's hard to get them to fail. Yeah, it wants to open when it does break loose, but that's how smooth they are. They are super smooth. I will give the smoothness to the Lemifshi. Could be because of how I tuned them too. Man, yeah, they do kind of drop hydraulically, like perfect. But these drop good too. They require a little bit more shake for sure. And that's why that detent is so much stronger too. Yeah, they definitely do take a little bit more shake. All right, well, that was cool to see. And this one I got tuned in perfectly. This one was kind of tight, but now it's just like perfect. It won't like guillotine drop on you, but any kind of force, and it just staggers. It's perfectly hydraulic. Whatever speed you started at is the way it ends. So if you get it down, you can get it to where it just perfectly closes. Or you can sling it closed. But the really surprise out of the batch was how comfortable this little thing is. And how, once again, it's one of those knives. Let me see if any of these other ones, if I can demonstrate. So when I open this one, so when I hold this knife right here in my hand, just like anybody else would, and I go to reverse flick it, right now, if I was to wrap my hand without moving at all from where it's sitting in my hand, I would be grabbing it here, and it does not feel comfortable. It does, but you have to adjust. You have to move your hand a little bit. And this is one of those knives where if I've got it in my hand and I open it and I just curl my fingers around the knife, I don't have to move at all. The Evo was like that too, or is like that. So you can just open it and grab it without having to readjust your hand at all. And y'all take some time sometime to do it with a knife or two, and you'll be surprised at how much you have to adjust the knife to get in the perfect grip. See, like this one's way off. So if I just hold it in my palm, just like I would when I'm going to open it, and I open it, in order to get to where I'm fully grasping this knife, I have to do all kinds of readjusting. I have to move around all kinds of ways. Like I have to shift it over here to my palm to even get in grip. Because I'm laying flat on the top of it when I open it up here, it's a method of opening. Now, if I lay it in my palm and I use the fuller to open it, then I'm a lot closer to right into grip. But if I hold it like I would use the top flipper or then the grip means I have to totally readjust my hand around to get on it. But if I use the fuller, and that's why people say like, like a lot of people that like doing a reverse flick, the reverse flick position of the knife gets the knife in a better place for you to just reach around and grab it. Like that whole layout of reverse flicking the knife automatically puts the knife in a better place for you to grab hold of it. Now, on this one, same thing. If I go to reach up here, then I can't wrap my hand around. I've got to readjust the whole knife. And if I use let's see what happens when I use the front flipper. So with the front flipper, I'm on the wrong side of the knife. So I have to spin the knife to get it into grip. Because of where the position is, I've got it way down here, and you have to respin. So the best position, reverse flick, put your hand naturally in the best position to grab onto the knife. Out of a flipper tab, you really have to adjust when you use a flipper tab. Out of a front flipper, you have to spin the whole knife around to get on grip. And then with reverse flick, it's pretty much real close to where you need to be. So that's interesting. That's just something I've noticed. And wow. And in my mind, I want to design a knife that whichever method I choose of opening it, I want them to be comfortable in that position. So that instantly removes the flipper tab from my knives. And I guess the front flipper is just an add-on for fun. It doesn't make the knife is almost upside down. It's almost easier to grip it backwards when you use a front flipper. Yeah, it is easier to grip it backwards than to totally spin the knife all the way around in order to grip it. Kind of wild. So I've been thinking more about designing a knife. So I've been thinking about where I want the fingers to land, and you're carrying the raccoon, and it's awful lot. I've got a raccoon right here. Let's see. So if I'm holding it in my hand and I got it comfortable to where I'm going to reverse flick, it is off pretty bad. When you grip up, you have to shift the whole knife. Yep, you're totally right. So reverse flick on it puts my hand right there, and I got to like spin the knife and slide it down. Reverse flick, I can't go right into the grip. That's pretty wild. I would not have thought it was that much difference between those two knives if you'd have told me that. But it has to do with where the curve and the pivot is. So once again, if I hold this one, about the same size knife, almost exactly the same size knife, if I hold this one in my hand, just like I'm going to put my middle finger right in there, perfect, very comfortable, and I open it, in order to grip up, I just have to do that. All right. With this one, same exact thing. I'm going to put it to where my middle finger is right on the thumb stud where it feels the most comfortable. When I do that, I cannot wrap around. My finger is stuck way up. That's so weird. But it has to do with how high this pivot is, almost hitting the middle of this finger choil. Pretty wild how far up it is. Compared to this pivot is hitting down here, the very bottom edge of what. Oh, something else that Jesper Vox Knives does about knife design is he includes the blade follows the lines of the scales, just like I've said that they all should do. And the raccoon is a prime example of them not doing that, so it makes a weird place to put your finger. So had they just rounded this off almost like this one, it would be way comfortable, way more comfortable. And all they had to do was round off the corner of this scale to follow the lines of that blade there. Yeah, even if you don't take a full grip on the raccoon, you still have to slide backwards to get it up there. And this one's not comfortable up here anyway, so that's where I would want to hold it. But it still doesn't even land. I can't I have to shift the knife in my hand. All right, PM2 time. Where's it at? Oh, yeah. I was looking for blue, but it's not blue no more. I saw the scale laying here, and it reminded me that it's not blue no more. All right, PM2. Laying it in my hand. I'm getting my thumb lined up where it's just very comfortable. All my fingers are still in the same kind of order. I've got it where it's the most comfortable for me to open. My pinky and my pinky's locked on the clip, to kind of give me support. And let's see, open it. Yeah, it's laying a lot more flat. I have to shift my hand. I can't just wrap my fingers around it. If I just wrap my fingers around it, I only get that much of my finger. It doesn't get up here. It's close. It's better because I can grip up instantly, but it only gets the tip of my finger on it, where comfortable would be down in the middle of that next knuckle. It only lets me get about that much of my finger on it. So that's let's try the PM2. I mean, that was the PM2. Let's try the Para 3. So the Para 3 being a little smaller might be better. Same position. I got my fingers still straight, not contorted. Open it. Yeah, it's the width of this scale here. It's only letting me get it out here on my tip of my finger instead of down there in the middle of the knuckle where it feels perfect. I think it's partly because of how big this hole is and how far away your finger is from the knife, and the width of this right here. It only lets me, I can't grip it with just, it's out here at the tip of my finger instead of back here where it feels the most comfortable, locked in that little V. One more time, this Jesper Vox Knives knife. Same thing. My finger is a lot closer to the knife, and it lets the knife sit. And the width across here is a lot different than this. So naturally, when I go like this, it wants to lay down in that V instead of up at the front of my finger. Yeah, it goes down into that V a lot better. And that's because so this area matters a lot. The width across here matters a lot on comfortable grip. And these are about the same across there. They are the same, exactly. So that width. All right. Well, that was interesting to look at. It's just something you start thinking about when you start wanting to design a knife. that is super comfortable. And when you feel one that just kind of melts into your hand, like this is a smaller knife and I have big hands. And like I said, if I hold it with behind there, it's a 3-finger knife. It's not even a 3.5-finger knife for me. It's not exclusive to your hand shape. It's exclusive to your hand size, probably. Yeah, because most people wouldn't even be able to wrap around and get nearly as much of this on here as I do because my fingers are longer. So even when it hits here, most of y'all would be like down here or something. Or people with smaller hands, not most of y'all. But yeah, if you had shorter fingers, then you'd be down here. But I'm not trying to tell you anything about what's best for you. I'm just saying you need to feel it for yourself and figure out what feels easy and good to you. And if you do those little experiments like I just did with different knives, you'll definitely feel a difference between knives. I'm not saying one is any better than the other because for each person it might be different on what they like. But you will feel some differences. For sure. All right. I do have my case here. I need to figure out what I'm going to leave in this case. This side is pretty much full with rosies and ducks. Perfectly. This side has proteans and 4 little knives, 5 little knives, and my cedars. All right, these little knives have got to go. Because now I've got to put some more cedars up. All right, so I got that one and that one. This will work out good. If I move my wakas over, then I can put my 2 Jufull cedars right beside those other cedars. I just ordered some new proteans, so I got to get rid of these because I just ordered 2 more. But yes, that's a good use of that bag. Ducks, rosies, cedars, proteans, and wakas. Oh, and winter, yeah, ducks, rosies, wakas, cedars, and proteans. Man, that's 5 great knives. That if this bag was full of real ones, would be crazy money. Crazy money. My Migron needs to go with the rest of its brothers. I've got its case right here. We're going to turn off the green screen. I guess. Give me just a second to let me get sorted here. I'm trying to keep my stuff cleaned up a little bit better. I need to the guy that I got this from turned this one into a Tonto. It didn't have that double edge, but there's some cool knives for the price that they cost. Like, they really are. I thought I was buying a different model. He sent me the wrong knife. I bought a Land 912 and he sent me a Land 910. Yeah, that Anzo pin, we looked at it. It is pretty nice. This, I put some Loctite in when I got home. Oh, yeah, I fixed this right after the stream. If y'all didn't see that video or see the beginning, I took that little bit. I took this little thing, and the whole video I had been doing, I started at 80 and I went to the left because that's what it said. So I started at like 80 and I went over here to the side, this side, and then I went back up to 80, and I thought I went around more, but I ended up going clockwise all the way around about 180. I went from 80 up here all the way around to straight down. And when I did that, it fixed the lockup just instantly. I mean, it is just like bank vault. So yeah, that was, y'all knew that was going to drive me nuts. And now this thing is it really is a nice knife. I don't care what you say. It's very fidgety. The milling is great on it. I got a later number because I feel like he had all those problems with the earlier ones. So since I've got number 295, I'm cool with that because the pins seem to be staying in place, and I didn't have to glue those back in. But yeah, it's very, very locked up now. In fact, I'm putting it back in my front pocket. I'm probably throwing this in my back pocket just because I built it for 37 bucks, and I need to use the heck out of it. All right, let me get a couple more knives off of this. Let me put this up where it goes. Like I said, the only reason I bought this is because I love Miguron quality. It's an M390 knife. It's got nice milling and all that internal milling that I showed y'all just for the heck of it. And it was $100. So yeah, it's going right in the case with its buddies. And it has that kind of milling on the inside of it. Come on, man. Where are they doing that at? Except at Miguron. People talk about customer service this and customer service that from a China company, and I'm like, man, you got to get over that. You got to realize what you're getting for your money, and not expect the same customer service. Like, you're not paying for customer service. Now I got to figure out how to make room for it, because all my Voss steeds are in the way. I've got all my Voss steeds in here with my Kaisers, and all right, I had to pull out a Riot that doesn't have a home, but I got Kaiser, my 3 Ontario rats, my Voss steeds, my Migurons, and my QSPs, and that knife case is completely full. See you later, TC. Have a good one, buddy. Nick, me time boss don't really have internal milling. You can just see the milling lines. So they leave like a cool little swirl pattern on the inside, but that's not really internal milling. That's just where they didn't clean it up. Those are just tool marks. You can see the path that the tool marks took. But the Me Time Boss scales, I know what you're talking about. I could show you, I could take apart one of these. I could show you on one of these, but it's just where they milled it out, the tool path. You can watch it. The tool path kind of looks cool, but Not really the same milling. Be Shady. I almost bought one the other day. Popped up on Knife Swap. Yeah, they leave the tool path. But that's a lot different than what he did. He specifically went in and, ow, man, my leg's hurting again this morning. He went in and did this. And he even went around the outside edge, down on the inside, and did a milling line. That's different than leaving the tool pass. Ow, ow, ow. How heavy is what, Pete? Yeah, Nick, I haven't, I believe you, buddy. But I paid $100 for this M390 Miguron. Good morning, Cliff. How's the great state of Alaska? Man, I have to stand up for a minute. Oh, the DK. Let me show y'all see if this was a good deal. Because I thought it was a good deal. I think it was like 120 bucks. So this guy had one for 110, 99 bucks. Somebody bought this one for 99 bucks. Is that a good price? I should have bought that knife. I was talking to him. Yeah, 99 bucks for that. Seemed like a good deal. Ow, man. What is up with my knee now that I'm getting old? Tie and S90V, only 99 bucks. It was only, it was the last one. He had another post. He kept dropping the price. Let's see. Yeah, right here. This is the one that I saw it at for 110. Hell, I should have bought it at 110. It just looks so tiny. Like it doesn't, it looks very small across his hand. Even next to the case. Looks like half a case length. It's a cool knife though. He's pointing out a scratch on a snail on the clip. Got a nice finger choil. It's curved perfect with the scale, just like I was talking about. But it looks like I could hold it comfortably, probably. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot, actually, to be a small knife. Yeah, I like it a lot. Morning, Robin. See what else I had. Grip Talk. I was reading the. Let's see. What else is going on in the knife world? Maybe it'll jog my memory. Yeah, there's the Thunder Beast again. It's the talk of the town. I saw 2 videos on it last night. Wow. Customers sent in a Kershaw for sharpening. He actually needs more than sharpening. He needs a rebuild. So, I heard something funny on a podcast. Do y'all know where the tip came from for the apprehension of the Brown University shooter? I always talk about people on Reddit being a different type. And this post just kind of reminded me of it. Because this is obviously a cry for attention by somebody. Either the guy that runs his sharpening business and he's talking about how he's going to have to clean this knife up and refinish it. Or the guy that sent it in was like, look, man, I'm going to send you a knife and pretend it's for sharpening, but really I need you to fix my whole knife. Either way, this was obviously done for like that. But anyway, if y'all don't know what led to the catching, so our FBI is very lackluster at best nowadays. They couldn't find anything, so they got a tip from a homeless guy on Reddit. Nothing wrong with being homeless, but I'm just mentioning the fact that their info came from a homeless guy on Reddit on who the guy was that did the Brown shooting. He said, look out for a certain car. Gave him a tip. I'm not lying. If you go look up the news, you'll see that the FBI was tipped off by a homeless Reddit post. A homeless guy on a Reddit post. Which is pretty wild that our FBI is relying on that nowadays. That's a pretty good price on an iridium. One of the only Kershaw knives I like. Hey, look, feels like a $600 knife. Pete, how did you like the milling on that knife? And the fit and finish. If you're still with us. He wasn't even an informant. They just found the post. It was in a like one of those local town Reddit posts, like next door or something. You know, did y'all see this? It's from a guy. I don't know. I don't know. The guy's name is F. Dick. He made a knife called the Sausage. Or maybe it's for sausage tasting. Anyway, that was a weird post. There you go. It's Essie Friday for that guy. Oh yeah, he bumped into the wrong guy. Bumped into Andrew Arvlosky. Pretty wild. Looks like TC had the same idea I had. And did a couple of those Flytanium scales already. He already had the knives on him, so that made it easier. I had to buy the knives after I bought the scales. So he did the Wee Banter and the Civivi Elementum, it looks like. They look super good, PC. He bought the same scales that I bought. So that's kind of, yeah, that's what mine will look like. Aaron posting the heat again. Another McNeese. I posted my obligatory 4 pics of all these knives. All my new ones. There's the new Migron. There's the Pillar. Whoops. There's the Pillar again. There's the Land. I like having a catalog of my knives with all the different sides. You can see the mill blade good in these pictures. Even the little curve. Wow, pretty good though. And here's the other one. There's that pattern I'm saying is the best, most grippy pattern I've ever felt on a knife. Pretty crazy. That's a pretty clean knife. I don't care who you are. Man, that grip. And there's all 5 of them together. That Land is a lot darker than it looks in those other pictures. It looks like that in person. But up here in these pictures, for some reason, it doesn't look like that. Weird. You can kind of tell there, but that looks like a whole different knife than what it actually looks like. And these were taken with the same lighting. I don't know. Weird. I don't have any Pete. Let's see what other videos we can get into today. Let's go through a few and see what they look like. So we got the earth spinning. That one looks kind of weird. We got a bunch of dots. I don't even remember what some of these are. Some of these will make you dizzy though. Especially if you're one of those people that... What is this one? This one's doing nothing. Oh. Yeah, it's Smoky Sunday. I'm a little smoky this morning. Yeah, you do need to find that, Pete. Y'all smash that like button if you haven't. Please, sirs. Let me go through a couple more here. I think some of these would look good if I just paused them. Like this one, if it wasn't moving, would look okay. It's just a background. And a couple of these, a bunch of these have like water drops that would look cool. If I pause that one, that one's not moving very fast at all. That one's actually pretty cool, but when it resets, what's it going to do? Yeah, this one's not moving enough to really matter. It's like 30 seconds long. Let's see what happens at the end. It's going to do a jump cut. Abby Hoffman. You're the first person I know that's mentioned that name. I read that book. I read his book when I was younger. Ergot plant. Right here. Oh, that one's a perfect loop. It didn't even do the jump cut. Yeah, I like this one. So here's the end of it. Wait, it does do a jump. Hold on. Yeah, Ergot, he discovered LSD, and he took way too much the first few times. Way too much. Reading his book and reading his stories, he's got his journal. He journaled it all because he was, a scientist. Yeah, I like this background a lot too. It doesn't move too much. I've got my green pretty dialed in. You don't even see edges around my hands too much, but the blades still disappear. And that's because of how reflective, whenever they start showing the green down here on the blade, it makes it phase out because the blade turns green. Who said lies? Yeah, rye bread or something. Ergot, I don't remember exactly, Pete, but you are correct, sir. All right. I cannot believe how bad I cut holes in this mat. I got to order me some new mats. Oh, I meant to share something with y'all. I got my, it's pretty funny. All right. But yeah, I can't believe how bad I cut holes in this thing. I don't know how I did with the, I don't remember what video that was, but yeah, I just said rye mold. All right, let me turn off the green so y'all can see blades when I hold them up. Turn off the video and turn off the green screen. All right, now we're back to where I can show y'all actual blades without them disappearing. And everything, my hands do look a lot crisper and a lot wider. No more green. This is live, not Memorex. Oh yeah. Do y'all know that this is a Shirogorov knife? Do y'all know that this little thing is a Shiro? A bunch of people copy and sell it on Amazon. And this was a knife that I tripped out when I found out it was a Shiro. Not his typical knife. Had that laying around. Thought I'd throw that useless fact in. And then the other thing I was going to show you is I got my second. Hold on. What in the world is going on in this life? Share to Discord. Stuff for channel. Send. All right. I got my second YouTube payment. $114.77. I've had two of them. So I made at least $200, which is pretty crazy. But I wanted to thank each and every one of you. I think I got about that same amount the last time, so maybe I've gotten $230 total. And this picture is backwards. Don't trust that. But yeah, $230. It's crazy. I bought a couple of these knives. It probably paid for all those right there. When we get down to the cheap The thing that this is 22 bucks. Wow, this thing has super brutal detent. What in the heck? You can hear that. Super loud. This thing's got crazy detent. That is the epitome of a little chode. You want a little chode knife? That's your guy. This one is his skinnier brother that gets all the girls. And this one is the fat, cocky uncle that's an alcoholic but tries not to show it in person. And this is the Russian exchange student that looks funny but gets about as many girls as this kid. And this is the Chinese guy with the fast GTR comes into town. Hey, no, we shouldn't do that, mister. We should pick somebody else's video to try that on. Yeah, let's go try that on somebody else. That sounds great. No, I don't care. If y'all want to try it. I'm not worried about algorithms. I would rather you like my video if you like it and not like it if you don't. I forgot about the rich guy. This is the rich kid from the other side of town. But nobody likes him. He always talks about how much money he makes. Can't believe I just told a story about 6 knives. This guy's definitely the asshole uncle. Well, guys, what kind of time we at today? It is Sunday. We're supposed to be relaxing today, right? This is one of those other knife designs with the handle up above the blade. Like a lot of fixed blades. Well, like that overland knives that I like. And for some reason, these always make great. I mean, I know the reason. These always make good cooking knives. Knives shaped like this. Oh yeah, Pete. Sorry. Pete did a double color mod on his tweezers. And it looks really cool. Yeah, Pete, I meant to do that. Thanks for reminding me. I just forgot. So he did, I'm going to guess. Oh, I know how he did it. But I think you probably did it. Oh, no, you did it right. So he did this high voltage green first. So the whole thing was green. And then he sanded off the flats. And he did a lower voltage gold on top of it. So now you can see it's green and gold. Reason I know the whole thing was green is because that inside part is green. And these are the flat parts. That's the easiest way to do a two-tone.
So here are the tweezers now. Gold. Like this darker green color. Now I could sand and pull a better green, but this is kind of flat green, gold. So tweezers.
Oh, now I see what you're talking about on surface prep, Pete.
Gold.
I didn't pay attention earlier.
Packers, man.
Yeah, good job, Pete. I meant to show that full screen.
The tweezers now.
But yeah, now I see what you're talking about on surface prep.
Darker green.
You could have, yeah, you could have got that part super shiny too before you did the green. I like the difference in
This is
finishes.
kind of flat green, gold.
Pretty cool. Yeah, man. Once you get into Anno, it becomes very addictive. Did y'all see this video of my knife giving itself its own milling lines and blade grind? Check this out. The blade bends back. It creates a blade grind, and it taps itself and gives itself milling lines. Oh, it gave itself another screw hole or two, too. Oh, there's a screw up there. What's going on here? Lanyard hole. Pops it in all of a sudden, too. That's weird. What's that? Why's it got that dot up there now, too? Telling you, man. Some weird stuff. It's probably my favorite mod, though. I said that yesterday. Modding is super cool. Everybody should mod. Can't wait to do this mod where I make those little parts out of that piece. That's going to be fun. No, I think that one came from Grok, Pete. Kind of weird. Oh, you got second shift today, B Shady? That's pretty cool. I don't work any second shifts anymore. Anyway, guys, I've got to put up some knives in a new home. I'm getting stuff back to where I can kind of find it, though, so that's cool. I got to see what dude wants to do about sending me the wrong knife. It's about the same as the knife I thought I was buying. So I might not even say anything. It was on Knife Swap, so he does need to make it right if I choose to, but I don't want him to have to pay to ship it back to him and refund my money on it. Maybe we can work out a deal where I think I gave him $30 for it, maybe $25. Maybe he gives me 10 or 15 bucks off and I keep the knife because it's the wrong one than what he listed. Even though I looked at the picture and saw this knife, you couldn't see the numbers because of the black wash. So I thought it was a 912. That's how close they are. But anyway. If y'all want to talk about something else, we can. Yeah, AI sloppage. Yeah, it's just learning. It'll get better. Oh, I did want to show, now that I think about it, one of my grails popped up in on Knife Swap. Not really my grails, but one of the more expensive knives that I want. And it is still available. And it is the Maverick Concepts Asuka. And there's a good picture of it. We looked at it on stream one day. I like it. It's a little smaller. I'm glad I saw, but it's a good size though. It's a cool knife. That milling on it, super sick. Super micro milling. Love that clip too. Clip's not touching the scales. What's going on there? Got the blade ramp. Got that Insingo like blade. Tested liner lock. Yep. So yeah, he's $800 sell value. Somebody bought the Dixon for $5.99. So we saw that one. He dropped the price. How much for the Riot? I don't know. What do they cost? PLXT. I got it at White Mountain Knives. I think. That's not that's not it. It's the PLXE? I thought it was maybe it's the PLXE. Yeah. It's this one right here. With Nitro V. Oh, wait. Mine's not the micarta. It's not that one. It's... Maybe it is that one. I got the same pattern I can't see. Yeah, I guess it is that one, maybe. No, it doesn't look like that. Why? Hold on. Might have got it right from there. Yeah, I think I got it right from their website, but maybe not. Yeah, that has to be it. Yeah, that's it. Got the same texture. I can see better now. I don't know. White Mountain Knives, it was 122 times 0.9. 109.80 times 0.7. 70% of new. $80 with shipping. Does that sound fair? I like paying 70% of new. 60 to 70. I haven't ever carried it or used it. It's just been moved around in cases. $80 shipped. Instead of 109 on White Mountain Knives. I think I did that kind of fair. I did all the math right on the screen. 109.80 with 10% off at White Mountain Knives. And then times 0.7 is 76.86. And I added $3 for shipping. Which I can't ship for $3, but he said gematria. I'm definitely not into gematria. Gematria is full of crazy folk. But I don't know what it is, mister. You can't get one past me. Some of those people are pretty wild. You can see whatever you want to see if you want to see it. That's all I'm going to say. One last time before we end it, if you haven't hit the like button, I invite you to please do so. It is Christmas week, fellas. In 4 more streams, we will be Christmas morning. Who's going to be here with me Christmas morning talking knives? Y'all going to be here? It's kind of tough. I know y'all remember last year, Christmas morning, my sister passed away unexpectedly all of a sudden. She was getting ready to go to my mother's for Christmas breakfast. We got a call that she had collapsed and she never regained consciousness. So Christmas is going to be a little hard this year on my mother. And Christmas breakfast has taken a little bit of a different turn. But not sure if y'all all remember that last year at Christmas. Well, but it's not, not a downer. We're still going to celebrate and get together and enjoy family. We're going to miss her. That's for sure. But yeah, that was weird. She was 7 years older than me, and the last of the 3 children that we thought would go, she's lived the less reckless life. Me and my other sister have lived life a little more extreme. Married right out of high school and stayed married to her husband for 30 plus years. And yeah, she just collapsed and had a weird brain bleed. Yeah. I'm convinced it's probably due to some kind of weird side effect from a medication. No telling, I think she took a couple of medications and I don't know. I don't trust a lot of them. You get one of them, you got to get another one to counteract the side effects you have from the first one. Then you got to get a third one to counteract the side effects from the first 2. Seems like once you get started down that path, it's either totally relying on something or end up like my sister. But anyway, yeah, not trying to bum y'all out. Just wondering who's going to be here Thursday morning. I don't think we're definitely not doing the same Christmas breakfast because that would be a little too traumatic. But we are getting together Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, I'm sure. Just not early in the morning. But anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all being here and talking knives with me. I don't think the audio cut out. I hope it didn't cut out, Pete. My microphone still shows a level. I don't have any drop frames, so I think we're good. Anyway, guys, like I said, love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great rest of your Sunday, relaxing and hanging out with family, and start your Christmas week off right. We will be here again tomorrow morning to do it all over again. I do have quite a few of, I think a couple of the other knives we're going to be rebuilding with the Flytanium scales come in tomorrow. So that'll be cool. Oh, thank you, B Shady. Bill, yeah, man. That's what your Christmas gift is. I'll tell you what, go stand out by your mailbox and wait on me. I'll be right there. And if you don't see me show up, just keep waiting. I'm just joking. They are super nice, Bill. You need to get you one. And if you get one, you need to get that one with the grippy texture. That's the best grip on any knife scales I've ever felt. It actually feels so good, I'm about to pull it back out of the case and carry it today. So yeah, it's going in my pocket. Some of the most brutal detent. Man, this pattern is awesome though. So grippy. It's got the best of both worlds. It looks plain, but it's got that grip and milling. All right, guys, I'm really out of here this time, I promise. I am going to continue to flick this all day long, though. So my mini FSD is in my front pocket, and this is going in my back. Oh, Bill got a Pictus today. Yeah, that's that one you paid a little extra for because you wanted it so bad. This new one is Juful. The one with the mill blade is the one you want. I got both of them. So if you go looking for them, they're on the Nighthawk store on AliExpress. Nighthawk. He said Night Eagle. They don't realize they named their store Nighthawk, or that's how it translated. But the guy that runs the store called it Night Eagle because that's what he was trying to say. But it converted it to English under Nighthawk. It's pretty funny. Bird of Prey. I guess they're both Bird of Prey. But it's funny that China converted it to Hawk instead of Eagle. I wonder if it has anything to do with America. Anyway, guys, love y'all. Have a great Sunday afternoon. See y'all tomorrow. Peace. Yeah, I don't know. It won't let me stop streaming. It's all good, though. I'm not talking to myself. Yeah, I can't. It won't let me hit stop streaming. It's weird. So I'm not going to be able to type afterwards like I normally do. Not just a hot mic. I'm still going live. But yeah, go Bills. I can't end the stream. I've just got to cut it off. So I will type my normal thing that I do when I leave. And